Alright, so tonight we're playing an 1850 game. I'm going to be playing Willy and his Chaos Marines, and he's going to run through the list he has.
Okay, I'm running stock Chaos Space Marines with Cypher, who's slightly converted to have a sword drawn. I'm also running a Chaos Sorcerer here with Plasma Pistol and the Mark of Tzeentch and Scrolls of Magnus and Sigil of Corruption, and then Nurgle Lord with Terminator Armor, Lightning Claw, Power Fist, and Combat Familiar. For elites, I'm running the Chaos Contemptor with dual Butcher Cannons and 3 Mutilators and Nurgle. For troops, I'm running 17 Chaos Space Marines with 2 Plasma Guns, and the champion has melted bombs and a power ball. And my second troop option is my 9,000 Suns in Chaos Rhino. The aspiring sorcerer also has melted bombs. Then the heavy support, I'm running 2 obliterators. They're my combination obliterator defiler conversions, and also 5 havocs with 4 autocannons.
Alright, so my list, I have 2 squads of 10 cultists. We have the close combat with the flamer. We have the auto guns with the heavy stubber. I have 2 squads of Chaos Space Marines, dual plasma here with an icon of Vengeance for Fearless, a single melt-a-gun with an icon of Vengeance as well. They are joined with my Warpsmith Grimtech over here. Let's see. Have a Hellbrute with a missile launcher. Have 5 Nurgle spawn. 3 Nurgle obliterators. 2 Rhinos for Chaos Marines. The Mauler Fiend here with the Lasher Tendrils. The Helldrake over here with the Hades Autocannon. And then a Demon Prince of Tzeentch with a Spell Familiar, Mastery Level 3, Power Armor, and Wings.
So I deployed my Mutilators with my Chaos Lord up front to meet his assaulting units, and then most of my forces are consolidated here at this building, which is pretty close to the objective, which is the primary goal of the mission. I have autocannons in an elevated position, as well as my obliterators are both up high. Then I have my 1,000 Suns, who roll the Molten Beam and Invisibility for power. And then I attach Cypher to the 17-man squad of Chaos Space Marines and put them to his flank with plasma, and they have 2 plasma guns, and plus Cypher is a plasma pistol to offer threat to his flank. I do have an open area over there, but I don't consider that critical.
So my deployment, I have obliterators here, Demon Prince hiding back there. Most everything, as you can see, is tied up here, sort of taking cover from the woods. So as Willie mentioned, the primary is to get the center objective. The secondary is we each nominated 2 units of our own as Kingsguard, and we need to kill those. So I nominated both my Chaos Marine squads. And what did you nominate for your Kingsguard?
My Chaos Space Marines and my 1,000 Suns.
So I have to kill those 2. And the tertiary is old school table quarters, and we're about to roll for seize the initiative and take the first turn.
So starting this turn, I gained a new. I moved the Lord up with the Mutilators. I moved the Contemptor up. These units stayed. I moved I first cast Invisibility on the Rhino, Chaos Boon on the Aspiring Sorcerer, giving him Fleshbane, and he gained a Divination power for Misfortune. Following that, I moved up the Rhino to this corner, and I moved up and out that blob of 17 with Cypher. Following shooting, they did nothing. He fired at the obliterators, did 1 wound and spotlighted them. This unit then fired at the obliterators and did 3 more wounds, killing 2 total. The Rhino spotlit the spawn and did 1 wound, which was also fired at by the Obliterators, which did no wounds. And the Chaos Space Marines fired into the spawn and also did 1 wound. So everything has moved forward and fired when it could, resulting in 2 wounds on the spawn and 4 wounds on the Obliterators.
Alright, so my turn. I moved this Obliterator up. Took a single last cannon shot and dropped that Rhino, which had a 2+ save with Night Fight and invisibility.
Invisibility. And cover.
And cover. My Demon Prince Zinch just flew up here. The Rhino and Mauler Fiend just moved up. The Rhino popped smoke. Over here, I moved the Hellbrood up. We took a shot at the Contemptor and missed. The Chaos Marines over here, I moved up and jumped out. They rapid fired Cypher and his squad. Took out a handful of guys there. The spawn moved up here. They're about to get ready to charge into the squad now, and we're going to go into the close combat phase. Alright, so we just got done close combat. Charged in, I killed off, how many? 5? 5 guys. He put 4 wounds on my spawn. He did a hit and run and broke away here. So that's where they're at. That's where they consolidated. I consolidated behind the building a bit. Hopefully to hide from the Obliterators over there. And we're going into his turn.
My Warlords unit moved forward. And that's it. The Contemptor moved forward and fired and finished off the Mauler Fiend. The Thousand Sun units gained another psychic power, endurance. He cast invisibility on his own squad and cast endurance on the Havocs. Moved forward and then fired, killing 6 of the Chaos Space Marines with their Inferno Bolters. The Havoc stepped down and fired and did the first hull point to the Mauler Fiend. The Obliterators did absolutely nothing because they missed with both their last cannon shots, and Cypher squad fired into the spawn, doing 3 wounds, and they fired with pistols, crack grenades, and Cypher's pistols, so they can still assault. Alright, during this assault, Cypher squad assaulted in. He did 2 wounds to finish off 2 of them, well, to do some damage, and then the rest of the squad did another 2 wounds, making all of them only having 1 wound left. They turned around and did 4 total wounds, with 2 of which I saved. So 2 Marines died. He took 4.
Alright, so my movement, my cultists came in. They moved and they just ran up to move up some. Over here, these guys were previously over here and got pounded, so they got in their Rhino, drove up here. They snap fired and put a wound on the Lord. Over here, I fired 2 multi-guns out, put a wound on the Lord in the front. Over here, the Obliterator shot over here, put a wound. My Demon Prince came down on foot. He enfeebled the Mutilators with the Lord. He's going to get ready to charge them. The Helldrake flew in. Vector struck over the Thousand Suns, killed 1. He shot at the Contemptor, got a pen, but the Contemptor made us invulnerable. And now we're going to go to the close combat phase. Alright, so close combat. His Lord had to issue a challenge. My Demon Prince had to take it, and I killed the Lord off. He made his morale, and they stuck. Over here, Cypher killed off 2 spawn. The other guys did nothing, but they managed to hit and run and move themselves way over here. So my spawn is hanging out over here with a single wound, and we're going into his turn.
Alright, I moved the Thousand Suns over to where the Helldrake was, cast invisibility and endurance on the Mutilators to help them in the upcoming combat. They did not end up firing at all. The Contemptor Dreadnought then fired at the Helldrake and destroyed it. The autocannons, the autocannons fired at and destroyed this this rhino, and this rhino was destroyed by the squad immediately behind it, Cypher squad. Nobody died from those. No infantry died from those explosions and wrecks. Then the obliterators fired plasma cannons into this squad, killing five. And that ends the shooting phase. Cypher squad assaulted the Space Marine squad that was here. Killed 2, the sergeant and 1 random bolter guy. And they hit and ran over here. While they didn't lose anybody in the assault, the sergeant died in the mad dash to the woods from dangerous terrain checks. The mutilators were, because of invisibility, only suffered 1 hit, which they made the invuln save for, and they used power fists to cause 3 wounds of damage to the demon prince.
Alright, so this turn my prince go to feeble on these Chaos Marines with Cypher. And between these 2 squads, I put 20-something wounds on this Cypher squad and I killed 2 guys. It was pretty epic. The Hellbrute took a shot at them and missed, which he's done 3 times now. These cultists moved and ran, so they're up here. These 2 Chaos Marines rapid fired and managed to kill 2 of the 1,000 Suns. You can see the spawn move from behind the building over here. These cultists came in this turn, they moved and then they ran, so that's where they're at now, and we're going into close combat. Alright, so my Demon Prince fought the Mutilators. The fact you can't see him tells you he died. Mutilators consolidated up here. My Hellbrute was going to try to charge Cypher squad, but he died to Cypher's overwatching plasma pistol. My Obliterator did charge in, killed 2 guys, 1 combat, and the Marines are fleeing over there, and I just consolidated a little further into the woods. Oh, yeah. My spawn charged in, immediately died, and that was it.
The Sorcerer squad moved up to, they split, moved the 1,000 Suns to the other side of this barrier to see the enemy Chaos Space Marines. The Sorcerer stayed on the objective. He gained a new power, he gained Shockwave, and he cast Endurance on the on Cypher squad and Misfortune on the larger of the 2 remaining Chaos Space Marine squads. At that point, the autocannons fired on these Chaos cultists, killing several, and the Contemptor fired on the farther Chaos cultists, which also received the Zinch's Firestorm from the Sorcerer. That knocked that squad down to 6. These Obliterators fired on the last remaining Obliterator and missed with both las cannons. Cypher squad, which is relentless, moved up and fired with everything and put 1 wound on him. And Mutilators moved into assault range for an assault.
If somebody tries to steal,
the Mutilators assaulted in. Elected to use Power Mauls to try to knock him down to Initiative 1 for the following turn. It didn't work. I only put 1 wound on the Warpsmith and killed 1 Space Marine, and I took 1 wound from the Power Axe. And during the Obliterator assault, one Obliterator died to Cypher's plasma pistol.
Alright, so these cultists moved. They needed 11 inches to charge there, which they did not get. Over here, the Mutilators killed off my champion, and then my Warpsmith did 2 wounds and took out 1 Mutilator, so they're still stuck in combat over here. I guess you're shooting.
Yeah, so my shooting / assault. The Contemptor Dreadnought fired and killed the last 4 cultists. Cypher squad over here moved up and assaulted into the Warpsmith squad, which was already misfortuned. And Cypher killed the Warpsmith, and the Mutilator ended up killing the last Chaos Space Marine, which was the last of the enemy force.
Yep, so at this point I am completely tabled. And that's a game.